This time we're going to be taking a look at Mystique from the series 10 of the Toy Biz Marvel Legends. The other figures that were in this wave were Cyclops, X-Factor suit, Cyclops variant, first appearance Spider-Man, Angel with the blue costume variant, Omega Red, Black Panther, Mr. Sinister. For the Build-A-Figure, you didn't need all of the figures to build him. You could choose either Mystique or Omega Red, one or the other. They both came with the same piece. You see here the write-up for Mystique with her power grid and statistics. On the other side, instructions for assembling the Sentinel. Now, Mystique first appeared in Miss Marvel number 16, 1978, in disguise as Raven Darkholm, and really became a foil for Mrs. Marvel, which was written by Chris Claremont. And so when he wrote the X-Men, he decided to bring her in, and she became an X-Men villain. The sculpt is pretty nice. You get this cool skull belt. Got skulls all the way around. Nice soft plastic kind of skirt. They could have done a better job on the skull that was sculpted on her forehead. It kind of gets lost. I think that's also mainly the paint. For the paint job, it's pretty nice. There are some little spots there, like in her neck and down her back, but it's pretty clean. I don't like the light blue that they shaded her white parts of her costume with. I think it would just be fine without it. It does kind of give the impression that it's a bleed through. It's not really. It's just a shading effect. Her hair is very dark. It should actually be a much brighter red. She comes with a hole in the back and has a stand that you can plug into her and have her jumping in the air, and of course the piece of the Sentinel. Some of her articulation is different. She has this upper torso joint where she can lean left and right and slightly forward and back, as well as the abdominal crunch, which isn't as good. She sort of springs right back into neutral position. And her waist articulation actually allows her to move forward and back, as well as left and right, and side to side a little bit. She has 360 movement in her shoulders, in and out, swivels at the bicep. She's got a double jointed elbow. No rotation on the forearm or wrist, but her wrist does bend and her fingers bend together. Now her legs also have a kind of a unique joint here. They do go forward and back, and you can kind of rotate them a little bit, but not all the way. And they do go in and out a little bit. I actually prefer that kind of a joint in female figures. I think it makes it a lot more feminine, although it does lack some of the articulation. I think it makes the sculpt look better than trying to force the normal articulation into a female figure. If you notice, there's a lot different than the pictured Mystique. And you see the red hair, and you can kind of make out joints at the biceps and upper thigh. Plus, she has a longer skirt there. So you can tell that they changed it up a little bit. As I said, she first appears as an adversary to Miss Marvel. And however, she's been retconned as being around a lot longer than that, going back way until the early 20th century. Apparently quite connected to several other characters, because she does have the power to shape change, so she became a male and was the lover of Destiny, who was introduced in the comics as an elderly woman who could see the future. She becomes the mother of Graydon Creed, the anti-mutant political figure, with Victor Creed, or Sabretooth. She's also the mother of Kurt Wagner, or Nightcrawler. She is the foster mom to Rogue. Lots of connections. With her shape-changing ability, she gains a position in the government as deputy director of DARPA, big research company of the military. And she uses her position in DARPA to find out things, make plans to steal technologies, and to further the mutant cause, I guess. Although with her, it never seemed ideological thing, and more a monetary gain from it. However, she does form a new brotherhood, and they go after the Senator Kelly, who is a proponent of the Mutant Registration Act. And of course, they're opposed by the X-Men, and they fail to assassinate Senator Kelly. However, the gaining anti-mutant movement really makes her think, and she comes out of hiding with the Brotherhood and brings them in to be a part of a new program called Freedom Force. All their previous crimes will be pardoned for as long as they work for the government. They're basically become government stooges. That idea of mutants working for the government actually develops from Freedom Force into X Factor. She works with them a little bit, and there she starts to kind of go back into her criminal ways. But you find out that all her criminal activity, at least in her mind, is reasonable, because she's obsessed with preventing this mutant apocalypse from occurring, because she's heard all this from her lover, Destiny. She's eventually recruited by Professor Xavier. She's been captured and being taken to jail. Xavier actually breaks her out and basically forces her to work for him as a Black Ops operative, sort of doing dirty jobs. No killing involved, that's one of his rules. She's their secret agent, basically. And that takes place in a great series written by Brian K. Vaughan. Just recently, she's joined the Marauders in the hunt for the new mutant baby in the Messiah complex. By doing this, she would save Rogue from some disaster or from some danger, and that does come to pass. After that's over, she joins the Dark X-Men, organized by Norman Osborn, and she actually begins operating under the name Jean Grey. I haven't really seen her in a while. She's bound to show up again. It'd be nice to see what she feels about Nightcrawler's death. So I guess that'll be it. Stay tuned for my next review.